Earlier today, I told you what I was doing as a volunteer, and I also said I have a day job. Well, that is that I am a business analyst, I'm a project manager, and I'm a change consultant. In the past, I did that for ING, both in IT and in HR. But now I do this for my own company, which is called Multimedia. I'm a bit of a geek girl, and I just love my gadgets, so brought all of them with me. But I've also turned that passion for web and app into my business. So what I try to do is advise people on what webs can do for sorry, I'm getting my words confused now. What web and what app can do for your business and how that impacts how we do things, because it isn't just a tool, it's a lot more. My strengths are actually in being different. For a long time, I thought, being different, being the woman in the gay in the men environment, being the lesbian among the gays, being the marketing type of person in IT was annoying and irritating, but I've learned to turn it into my strength. So nowadays, if you need an ITer in your marketeer department, or you need a marketeer, an ITer in your HR department, or you need anything around change and innovation, I'm your girl. The last job I had was about diversity, and to me, you can't do innovation without diversity. You need diversity of thinking, you need new perspectives. We learned this morning that Gen Y really thinks different than us 40-plussers or anyone in between. Again, there I feel I'm a bit different because I feel like I am that Gen Y-er in a slightly older body. Okay. So when I had the opportunity to speak again today and talk about social media in context of lwomen, of course I immediately looked at the organizations that are around, that are here today and how they do things. I'd like to say before that I've set up the social media for lesbians, I've set up the social media for Company Pride Platform, I've set up the social media for the film called All Lesbians, which is made by our filmmaker today, and I've done all the online stuff for lwomen today. So looking at other lwomen today online, I thought, it's a bit Web 0.1. What we tend to do is still be quite passive. I've noticed when I looked at GWN, at ViberNet, Wirtschaftsviber, and some others I could find, we all have websites, so that's really great, and that's great information. But it'd be great if we take it into networking, into participation, and make it really community, not just when we see each other once a year somewhere, but also when we go online. Oh, here we go. Because I know we love to network. And anyone recognizes this one? Yay! For those who don't, maybe the two guys in the back. This is the board from the L word, and it shows Shane and everybody else how they're interconnected. So it would be great if we also did that online. But when I actually give training about social media to groups now, and I'm realizing more and more that it isn't rocket science to do social media. And this is, by the way, the first female astronaut, and she's Russian, I think. It isn't rocket science. Oh, some people recognize it. That's true. Okay. Doing social media and using social media in your advantage isn't rocket science if you just know a few tips and tricks. Now, I can fill hours about this, so I've narrowed it down to really talk about if you have an LGBT or a website and you want this to be a bit more interactive, the simple things you can do. The first thing I want you all to do is get share buttons on your website. And there are those lovely icons that you see at the bottom, and I hope you recognize them, but they stand for Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn groups, Google +1, I'll forgive you that one if you don't know it yet. And there's a lot more options, and you can still print an email. Why is this so important? Well, if you have a message on your website, you kind of want the community to know about it. So if you make it easy for them by putting those things in there, and you can ask your IT guy or IT girl, hopefully, because I've been corrected today. I said guys before when I address you all. So go to your IT girl and get this particular stuff integrated in your current website. So what it does is when you click on that Twitter icon, and this is for those that Twitter, and if you don't know how to, call me later and I'll explain. Okay, but what it says is, what it actually does is, if you have a catchy title in your article, it automatically captures that. It also captures a very small URL to your article, which tends to be this wide, and people don't remember it. It'd be nice to actually courteously use an ad and then the name of the person who sent it, so other people can easily follow them, and as well give some context with something we call hashtags. That's the funny mark we've been showing you all day, and luckily I've seen some people in the audience today who've been actively twittering, so I'm hoping you do a bit more today. And please, RT obviously means please retweet, meaning please forward this to others. This might be a little bit of rocket science to you, but for us geeks, this is what we expect, and us Gen Yers, even if we're coming in disguise, this is what we expect if you have a website and we want to participate. The same goes for that icon that says Facebook. It's actually a share link to Facebook, and what it can do, you can use that article, and again, if you use a good title and you actually have a good first paragraph, it can generate a lot of traffic coming from Facebook. Because one of the challenges we have is we don't know where our audiences is. We actually encountered that for this event, is we're so scattered around Europe, and we're using so many different tools. The more people start to get active on using these tools, the easier it is to click on like, send it, and it's a very easily click, and more people know it. And you can use this for groups, your own page, on a friends wall, so you can actually tell to people, hey, this is very interesting for you. Then I'm assuming most of you, since you're professionals, are on LinkedIn. There are nowadays, in the modern version, there is also some kind of Twitter typey integration, or My Updates. So when you click on that LinkedIn icon, what you'll get is this option. I've actually checkmarked all of them. And you can post this particular article, with, like the program for today's event, is online, and post update, it means it shows you on your LinkedIn page. Doesn't require much, but your entire network now knows that you're going here. Granted, if it's an LGBT event and you don't want to be out to everyone, this might not be the particular one you want to do it about, but it's the same principle. What I really find interesting is when it can start getting viral is when you use post to groups. Now, I don't know how many of you here use LinkedIn groups. Oh, good, there's Lisa. Oh, almost half the room, that's really good. To get groups active, you need people to contribute. And the very easy way is to start using these things, because you see something online, you click there, you type where it says groups, the first couple of letters of the group name or group names that you are a member of, click up on OK, and voila, you've just updated something in a group. So what we did for lwomen at work, I happen to be a member of quite a number of groups, and especially became a member of a lot of LinkedIn groups prior to the event so I could PR it. I basically went to every L, LGBT, GLBT, gay, I just looked for anything I could find, posted it there, and it got quite viral. I know some of you are here because of that. And if you want to personalize it, some of us tend to have huge mailing lists on LinkedIn, very handy to use the thing at the bottom is saying sending to individuals. So it's kind of saying, I select from my address book in LinkedIn a number of people who I think should get this message, and it sends it. Why is this handy? Well, it's a great place to keep all your Rolodex business cards online anyway. So instead of keeping another database of email addresses that you always lose, you can use it this way. Are we still here, or am I talking? Yeah, okay, good. I know I'm a geek, so I tend to sort of talk Chinese to some people. Okay. Now, if you've done all that and you have, you are an LGBT organization, and you have a website, and they've now put the integration on your pages, it also would be really interesting to start using Facebook pages. What it does is you just have to set it up. It's really simple, but again, if you don't know, that's my business. What you can then see is here on the left, that is a particular piece of software that is nowadays just a check mark in the background of content management systems, and automatically anyone who's clicked on your fan page in Facebook now becomes visible to their own other people that know them on your actual website. Kind of useful because it's kind of like a Tupperware party where really who would want to buy a plastic box, but if a friend of you says it's a really good plastic box, which basically clicking and liking it says, then you might be a bit more inclined to read the information. It also means that now when I start adding information to this Facebook page, these people will see it. Oh, that's going fast. These people will see it in their updates. So it's a very simple way. It's not intrusive. It's not like you're spamming them. It also means not everybody sees everything, but at least you've tried. Okay. Of course, I really recommend you to also set up a Twitter account because then, for example, from Lesbians or Company Pride platform, we can start following you, and when you say really interesting stuff, we can actually resend it to other people in our network, and we can spread the word around, and it just makes it easier. And if you haven't got a website yet, and you wanted to do this for some reason, you could use free blogs like the ones for WordPress. What we used for this event is software everything was for free. So yes, it doesn't cost you any money for the software, but it does require you to put a lot of love and tender care in it, because the main thing you need to do though is update the information. I've given you a very quick tour on the technology part, but the key thing is to actually update it. And you can find me everywhere.
What's your number?
My number.
316.
That one? Okay. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.